Well, what is going on YouTube? Welcome back to A Therapeutic Edge. Thank you so much for joining me. Hey, before we get started with the amazing knife on the table, do me a favor and subscribe. I would love to have you here on a regular basis. It helps the channel out, and of course, we try to have a little fun around here, so I think you'd like it. What is on the table? Well, this is a full custom mini Bowie, and by mini, I don't mean it's that small, but he makes bigger ones, from Papa Bear Knives. Papa Bear Knives makes a ton of interesting designs. This is just one of many. If you hit up Papa Bear Knives, the website, which there will be a link in the description, or the Papa Bear Knives Facebook group, also there will be a link in the description, you can find access to a ton of his work. I actually won this one in a raffle. And I am really happy that I did. So, what do you get? Well, this is, as I mentioned, a full custom knife, which means no two are going to look exactly the same. I chose this one because I really, really love this blade. Now, as you can see, this is essentially a mirror polish, right? It's got the hammer marks and forged scale left on it in a couple of places. Right here at the swedge, it's been ground off into equally high satin. This is very pretty and very sharp. The scales here are micarta. As you can see, they have some gold threading in them, which is very cool. And I love these blue pins, turquoise pins that are laid into here. Now, I know this is not the kind of knife that I would normally be into, but this is really functional art. And I just thought it was beautiful, so this is the one I chose. I love custom work like this. Somebody's art and their passion put into, something this functional is just very cool. You can see some of the marks across the blade through here. This is a great knife. Very, very comfortable, right? The fit and finish are exceptionally well done. When you get handmade stuff, if you go to gun shows and knife shows and stuff, you'll see a lot of handmade blades. And unfortunately, a lot of them they look great, but when you get close, they're kind of unfinished. And I don't know if that's the makers just being in a hurry or if it's part of their style. This does not feel unfinished. This feels like a really, really well done knife because it is. The blade steel on this thing is 8670 high carbon, which is one of the reasons that he leaves the forged scale on. Or you can get these in Duracoat, or you can get them in any number of blade finishes. But it's also the reason that he did this sort of mirror polish. Wow, tired. It does make it a bit of a challenge to review, but hey, there's the camera. Check that out. But the mirror actually helps the blade from picking up rust and stuff because there's not a lot of pitting in a lot of places for it to catch. Now, as I use this more, I will have to be careful. I will have to keep it, well oiled, well lubricated, because high carbon steel rusts. It's just something to be aware of. Now, there's lots of high carbon blades out there. I, for instance, have this K-bar sitting here, which is high carbon. This is 1095. They DLC coat theirs so as to help avoid rust. It's just something to be aware of. If you're going to get one of these, you're going to want to take care of it. It comes with a very nice handmade sheath. This is pancake style. Right, it's got a leather spot for your belt. It's good fitment too. Right, good retention. A little bit of rock, but no noise. Just an excellently done sheath. It came with the knife, which I thought was very cool. Let's take a look at what you get. Can I just take a minute and say again how much I love these turquoise pins in with the brown and the gold threading inside this micarta? It is just out of this world pretty. You get 4 inches of cutting, right, on 4 3/4 inches of that 8670 high carbon. The grip area from just here is 4 full inches, well, 4 1/4, 4 1/8, really, which is more than enough room for even a hand my size, which means most of you would hold onto this knife very, very well and very comfortably. I mean, if I can, most of you will as well. There are some people out there with bigger hands than mine, but not many. The knife from end to end, we're looking at just at 9 inches overall, which is a really good sort of EDC, and particularly camp carry size. Now, the way it's done this sheath, there's lots of retention. It rides relatively low on the belt, which is very nice. His sheaths usually have all sorts of graphics on the front. He likes to use Kydex with a bunch of graphics. I went with this one because I thought it matched the knife very well, and it is a great carry. Custom knives are as personal as anything you can possibly buy. Custom folders are the same way. Custom fixed blades. A maker puts their art and their heart and themselves into a knife, and if you love it, well, get one, right? If you're looking for, something that is a little more mass-produced, there's always stuff like this, right? This, of course, is the Bravo 1 by Bark River Knives. It's a fantastic knife in 3V, also not stainless. You can get one of those if you wanted to, but if you want something that the guy next to you isn't going to have, then you can look into customs. This is my 4th custom fixed blade. I have a small collection. Do they get used as much as my field knives like the Bravo 1? Well, no. But that's not why I buy them. Could they be used as much as the Bravo 1? Yeah, absolutely they could. I have yet to have a custom knife come without a really good heat treat. I have yet to have a custom fixed blade in particular come without a great edge. They are usually very comfortable in hand. The nice thing about custom stuff is that, if you see the maker's other work and you know that their hands are similar, at least to yours, then you're going to get a very similar feel in hand to what they're making. So if you meet a custom maker who is much, much bigger than you are or much smaller than you are, know that likely their handles maybe aren't going to suit you as well as they might. So finding a guy who is of similar dimensions makes sense. It's just kind of how it's worked out for me. Let's do some size comparisons. Here it is against my favorite fixed blade of all time, Chris Reeve Nyala. And as you can see, the custom Bowie here is bigger, but not terrifically so. These are both excellent EDC size knives, particularly if you're my size. I know these are a little big for EDCing for some people, but for me, this is, perfect camp size knife for me, and so is this. It is big enough to do all the cutting I want without being obtrusive on the belt, which is really nice. And of course, you already saw it up against the Bravo 1, but let's lay it down again. Right? These are very, very similar again in size, right? Ideal for everyday use around camp or hiking or backpacking. Let's put it up against some folders just so we kind of know what we're talking about. Here it is against my ever-present Mini Presidio 2. Right? It is much bigger than that, but here it is against the Presidio 2 full size. These are much, much closer in size, right? You're getting essentially the same size knife without any of the stuff you have to worry about, stuff in the pivot, stuff working on the axis lock, stuff getting in the way of the knife action. A good fixed blade of this dimension is everything this knife is without any of the sort of foibles that come along with a folding knife. If that's what you're into. I, of course, always carry a folder and a fixed blade, and often a big fixed blade when I'm camping, just because I like to. This is a beautiful knife. It really, really is. And I hope very much that some of you watching will go check out both his website and his Facebook group, just because I would like to see him get the attention that he deserves. Let's go ahead and weigh it, because that is... first, let's do the specs on the steel. Once again, this is 8670 high carbon. It's a reasonably thin slice of it. Put my glasses on there because I'm ancient. We're looking at 122 thousandths, or 3.24 millimeters thick on the blade stock. The handle at its thickest, which actually is up here, but that swell is designed to sort of keep you from coming forward. So we're going to go back here to the palm swell. 21.68 millimeters, or 0.8 of an inch, right? It is a really good grip in the hand. Now let's weigh it. Doesn't feel that heavy. It's got a very nice feel to it. So 6.2 ounces for a 4-inch blade, fixed blade, is not unreasonable at all. In the sheath, which is what you're going to feel on your belt, we're talking about 10.3 ounces, which is not bad. Fixed blades are, well, there are ultralight fixed blades, but for the most part, they're not really designed to be super light. And this one is balanced really, really well. Right where you apply pressure, right, it sits in the hand very well. I just really like it. I found myself laughing as I started to review this because I realized that perhaps I should wear a Batman mask like our friend Nick Shabazz. But most of you have seen my ugly face, and if you haven't been scared away by it by now, I'm not that worried. So there we are. This is a custom Bowie from Papa Bear Knives. It is relatively new to the collection. I have another Papa Bear knife coming, but we'll get to that when it arrives. And because I like this one so much, I took the chance and got another one. Feel free to ask me any questions you have about this one down in the comments below, or check out his website or Facebook page. If you guys are looking for a good custom fixie, something that's not going to be like the same thing everybody else is carrying, particularly if you do a lot of camping, if you're looking for something unique and interesting, yeah, go check him out. Anyway, thank you so much for watching today. I'll see you next time.